And like, I never did anything behind her back, right, with this girl, like on my life, right? So my ex-girlfriend left approximately 3 to 4 days after meeting my parents. And one day before that, we was talking about having kids. Actually, she was eating something, and she said that, look what I'm eating. This will make our kids strong, you know. I thought it was pretty funny, you know. We both in the gym, we both eat healthy. So you can imagine it was a bit shocking for me when it all ended. Like this was a girl that I really cared about, that I wanted to basically spend the rest of my life with. Not to be too cheesy, like I actually love the girl, you know. It's still shocking, you know. I've went through so many emotions the past like a month and a half to 2 months. It's still fresh for me. I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about like why she left, since I'm telling the story, and also like the deeper reason why she left, because I felt like she been needing a reason to leave. But it was still shocking for me, you know, like, because the reason that she left, I thought it was something that we can work through. That's why it was a bit shocking for me. Yeah, so I want to tell you guys the reason why she left, or the reason that she needed to leave, and then the deeper reason of why I think she left. I want to preface, I'm not making this video to bash her in any ways. I completely understand the reason why she left. Obviously, I didn't like her leaving, because that was a girl that I deeply care for. But I understand, you know, I do understand. Initially, I started this channel as a challenge, like to see if I can monetize this channel like under 6 months. In the last video that I made, where I mentioned a little bit about my personal life, that video seemed to be doing well. So I figured I'd make another video. But yeah, like I'm not making this video to bash her in any way, because I know there's a chance she may see this, or friends may see this. So like, yeah, so I just want to put that out there. Yeah, so to get back to the story, yeah, so this all started from like a little trip that we took to Fort Lauderdale, just a weekend getaway, and yeah, everything went well. You know, like first day went well, second day we ended up meeting my parents. We actually ended up going to dinner with her, my mom and I. It went well. We had a great time, and then we ended up staying another day, which went well, and then we head back to Bradenton, which is where I currently live. Like this place. Yeah, we drove back to this place. Like she ended up sleeping over, and the next day I ended up going to work. As you guys know, like I do video production. I work for a video production company in Sarasota. And yeah, so I was at work. She reached out to me. She wanted to use my computer. Yeah, so I was like, okay, like that's fine. I can send you the password. And I jokingly said, just don't go snooping around, right? I thought it was a joke, but apparently she didn't really take it as a joke. You know, she was wondering, oh, like, do you have something to hide? Like, you know, why would you say that? I was like, I don't have anything to hide, but I can send you the password. I have no issue with sending you the password. You know, I was just, you know, benignly saying like, oh, don't go snooping around, right? So, you know, that conversation, we got off the phone. It was a little bit tense. I still ended up sending her the password because, yeah, my intention was not to hide anything. So I sent her the password, and then, yeah, so she got the password. I'm assuming she logged into my computer, and then she started snooping around, right? When it was getting close to me getting off from work, I believe I texted her. She never responded. I'm like, okay, cool. And then when I got off from work, on my way back from work, which is about 25 minutes to 30 minutes, I called her. She didn't pick up. Called her twice. She didn't pick up. So I'm wondering what's going on, you know. But in my head, to me, it wasn't like anything that I can't fix. You know, I'm like, oh, like, what if she does nothing that's that incriminating on my computer, like for her to like cut contact like that. So I drove home. I got home. When I got home, like I have two screens, like one screen here, one screen here, right? There was a bunch of tabs of stuff open. You know, there was a tab of, one tab of Spotify. which had a playlist that that a girl that I used to see. I mean, like around the same time, like when I was talking to her, that girl sent me a playlist that she made. Mind you, I never really listened to that playlist. So that playlist been in the back of my Spotify. Like I never really listened to it. So she had this up, and then she went through my other YouTube channels. Like she found old videos from like 6 years ago with my ex, or like any other girl that I did any vlog with. She had those things open, and then she had another video open of a friend of mine that that I was still in contact with, but she saw an old video from like probably like 6 years ago, talking about like how we met, and yeah, so she had those all of those things open, basically showing me like, oh, like those are the reason why I'm leaving. I know you guys probably thinking like, well, like this doesn't seem that bad, right? And that's exactly what I was thinking. But or maybe you guys thinking it is bad, like for you to have old videos of your ex, like on, like even though it was like 6 years ago, or on an old YouTube channel that I don't even use anymore, right? So I can understand, but to me, like it wasn't a strong enough of a reason for somebody to leave. Like, like we did have conversation about cleaning up stuff. I have cleaned up some stuff, and she has also. She did also. So yeah, but to me, I just, those are stuff from like 6 years ago that I don't even like check anymore. Those are old other YouTube channel that I don't even use. So like it was a bit shocking, like for her to, like I mentioned before, like I felt like she been needed a reason to leave, right? So she kind of used these things as a way out, because like there's plenty of times in the relationship where she would mention like ending the relationship, but she mentioned that I would never do it because like I don't want to be the bad guy, right? It was a bit shocking for me, and there's other times where she would kind of like speak death on their relationship. And I wasn't too fond of that. I'm like, hey, like, if we're still together, I don't think it's like wise, like for you to speak death on the relationship when we're still together. If you want to leave, like I understand. But myself personally, I would never talk about breakup unless I'm ready to break up. And once I'm ready to do that, that's when I would actually tell you like, hey, like, let's have a conversation, at least, let's have a conversation, and then like we can go from there. But I'm not one to like deteriorate the relationship while we currently end it, like to speak death on it. That was not something I was fond of. Like for a period of time, like I expressed that, and she seemed to stop doing that for a time, and then like she kind of revert back to it. So that was like an issue, right? So like I mentioned, like it felt like she needed a reason like to leave. And she finally found a reason, like, instead of me doing it, like she found a reason to actually give her the courage, like to walk away. Yeah, so when I got back home, I saw all those things laying out, like, right, like I mentioned, the Spotify thing with like a playlist somebody made me from like before we were together. And then there were like videos of like me and my ex, like she had it all up like from like 6 years ago on my YouTube channel, like way back, like on the YouTube channel. And then she had another video of this other girl that I was still friends with. I told her we were friends, and we were friends. We never done anything. The girl lives in Fort Lauderdale, right? Plenty of times I went to Fort Lauderdale. I never went to see her. And like, I never did anything behind her back, right? With this girl, like on my life, right? So she accumulated all of these things, yeah, and put them up on both of my screens, and then basically like telling me like, this is the reason why she left, right? So yeah, so that's basically what happened. And I've tried calling her. She wouldn't respond. I've basically tried everything. Like this was a girl that I cared deeply about. And we've worked through a lot of things to got to where we are. Like we build a lot of trust, right? And I got to the point where like, oh, like I was like, this is the girl like I was ready to settle down with, you know. And like we had so many things in common. Like that's why I was very fond of her. Like we both love music, right? We both love to dance. We both love Afro music. Like we both love rap, and like we both know how to have a good time. Like, you know, we have like so many similarities. Like we both like to dance. We both like fashion. Like there's so many things we had in common. Like, so I was really fond of the girl, you know. She was very smart, very ambitious, you know. So I was very fond of her. Like this is the the woman that I wanted to settle down with. I made up my mind about that. And I think she knew that to a certain extent, you know. When I finally got a hold of her, you know, after trying like so many things, like, you know, bringing flowers to her place, you know, like 3 to 4 times. I've called her multiple times. I've emailed her. And like when I finally got on the phone with her, yeah, she was being very nonchalant. And yeah, she was just asking me like when will you be home? I'm like, what is this about? Like she was being very nonchalant, you know. I'm like like, mind you, we didn't speak for like 3 days. I didn't hear from her for like 3 or 4 days. And like finally, like she hit me up. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. We got on the phone. She's being very nonchalant, like nothing is going on. Like I'm like, yo, like what's going on? We haven't talked in like 3 days, and you ask me when I will be home, and I'm asking her like, do you plan on coming over to talk? She's saying no. Like, yeah, being very distant, very cold, very nonchalant, you know. Eventually, like, you know, yeah, she reached out. Basically, we had basically that YouTube channel I told you guys that I deleted everything from. I had some videos where she wanted me to like remove those videos. That's the reason why she was calling, right? I guess she didn't want to leave any remnants of like her and I on the internet, which I was completely okay with. But it was like the way she went about it, like very cold, as if like I was somebody like she didn't know. Yeah, and just like almost interrogating me, like, when will you be home? Like this and that. Like, I'm like, okay, like, is there something like we need to talk about? Yeah, just very cold. I was like, okay, like we can talk later. And yeah, we ended up talking later. I was at work during that time. And then like, that's when like, you know, she was expressing certain stuff. And then like, eventually, like, you know, I see that like there was no way, like I see like her mind was already made up. Like she had 3 days to probably think it over. And like I was still trying to save the relationship because like I mentioned, like I really care about this girl. But yeah, it seems like her mind was already made up, and like she was just like following in a set of actions that she had on her mind. Okay, I'm gonna talk to him, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna say that. And like, you know, so like it just seems like an agenda like she had planned. And then like at the end of that plan, it was for her to like end the relationship, right? So like that kind of put me on guard a little bit, you know. So like I was a bit defensive, because like I haven't talked to her in 3-4 days, and then she's interrogating me, and it seems like, you know, she's on the verge of like ending the relationship. So I was a bit defensive, you know. So throughout that process, like it seems like, you know, she was trying to attack me, basically trying to make me validate that I am like a shit person, and like I wouldn't give her that, right? I wouldn't give her that. To me, like, you know, I don't think I'm a shit person, you know. Like a lot of things that, you know, she claimed that I've done, she's done them herself, and I've been able to forgive her for like worse things, you know. So yeah, so like I did have my guard up, and like I was a bit defensive, you know. So eventually, like she was like, oh, like this is not gonna work, and then like I'm like, you know, maybe you can take some time, because right now, like, you know, we both going through emotions. Like maybe you can take some time, and then we can have another conversation about this. But it seemed like she was very relentless, you know, very unrelenting. So like, yeah, so she ended up ending the relationship like over the phone. Like she didn't even want to meet in person to have a conversation. It seems like her mind was already made up, and like she basically wanted me to like kind of admit that I'm a shit person. Like, you know, I wouldn't give her that. So like, which kind of helped her like, you know, end the relationship, you know. So that's basically the reason why she left. There is more to this story. There is more to the story. Maybe I'll do a part 2 explaining, like, you know, the deeper reason of why she left. And or maybe I can talk about like how we met. Like I mentioned initially, like, you know, it was not my plan to start sharing my personal life. You know, I am a content creator, like I am a videographer. So like I'm used to like content in general, right? And yeah, at this moment, you know, this is what I'm doing. I'm sharing a little bit, like I'm actually taking my own advice, because when I give people advice about like how to become successful on YouTube, I would often tell them like, hey, like you need to be transparent, like so people can get a feel for you, like, you know, a little bit about you to see if they like your personality or not. You know, at the end of the day, like, you know, you have to put yourself out there if that's something that you want to do. And yeah, like I mentioned, like my goal is initially was to monetize this channel under 6 months. That's still what I'm doing. I wanted to share a little bit more about my personal life. Obviously, like I'm still going through the emotions. I'm doing better now, you know, obviously, like I've been in the gym like literally like every day. Maybe in the next video, like I'll expand a little bit more of like the emotions, you know, that I've been going through. Like honestly, it's still fresh for me. I'm still dealing with it, right? It's still very painful. Like I mentioned, this was a girl that I really care about, somebody that I saw a future with, you know, that I wanted to have kids with, right? So like obviously the emotions are still fresh. I'm still going through it. I'm still dealing with it. But yeah, but I've been in the gym every day. Honestly, that has been my therapy. And yeah, I have no choice but to move forward, do better. And yeah, if you guys made it this far, like I appreciate you guys. Maybe I'll do a part 2, you know. I think I'm in a state where I feel like I can share, you know, maybe share a little bit more about my life, you know. Yeah, so if you guys like the story, let me know your opinions on everything that I've said. If you think I'm guilty, you know, or you guys can wait until you hear the deeper reason of why I think she left. That could be another section. So like, you know, let me know how you guys feel in the comment section. And if you want to be part of the journey of me monetizing this channel under 6 months, please subscribe to the channel. I love you guys. Peace.